Shampoo often contains the chemical sodium lauryl sulfate. Manufacturers use sodium lauryl sulfate and many of its derivatives because it's cheap and it makes a lot of lather and a lot of suds. The problem is that it also dries out our hair. Think about this. Our hair naturally produces an oil called sebum. On straight hair, this oil can slide easily down the hair shaft. On our hair, it takes longer to travel around the curls down the hair shaft. It's got a longer way to go. So shampoos with sodium lauryl sulfate are made with straight-haired people in mind. And if you think about it, you know folks with straighter hair, their hair tends to look greasy. I think you know what I'm talking about. Straighter hair, the oil travels down quickly, the hair looks oily after a day, it typically has to be washed, and the shampoos that are used are designed to remove that excess oil from the hair. We shouldn't be using those shampoos because for us, we want to maintain the oils that we have in our hair because they're better for our hair. The sebum will still continue to be produced. It will continue to travel down our curls or our Z shape or whatever our pattern is. But we need to be very mindful of the kind of shampoos that we use because not all shampoos are made for us. That's a huge message. So if you're able to get rid of the shampoos that contain this chemical and switch to something without it. Finding a shampoo without the sodium lauryl sulfate, they're really hard to find because most shampoos contain them. Because most shampoos are made by manufacturers who are really not thinking about our hair. I think you know what I'm talking about. So please be mindful as you shop, not to get disappointed or frustrated. So I'm going to give you a couple of shampoos that I have found that don't have it. So the Giovanni line, it has a couple of shampoos that do not contain this product. Burt's Bees does not contain sodium lauryl sulfate. Not in all of their shampoos. Some of their shampoos do, but there are some that don't. I have the baby shampoo and that does not contain sodium lauryl sulfate. EO is another one. Jason is another one. So there are some, but you have to be very diligent about finding them. They're out there, but you've got to be diligent. Shampooing, conditioning, and detangling. Because water is important, clean hair is important. So for long-term transitioners, I'd recommend shampooing at least once a week. If you are co-washing, you can do that frequently as well. You can probably do that even more frequently. But like I said, I wash my hair at least 2 times per week, sometimes 3, because I was not using sodium lauryl sulfate based shampoos, and so there was no real danger of my hair being stripped or shot or torn or broken or anything like that. But be gentle. So even though you're shampooing, whether it's co-washing or with actual shampoo, be gentle because your hair requires special handling. It is much more delicate than you think. A good conditioner will make a real difference for your routine because the next crucial step is detangling. Detangling might be the scariest part of the transition for you. Detangling does not have to be painful. It does not have to be long and drawn out. It does not have to take a long time. As a matter of fact, I have a video on YouTube already where I detangle my hair in 7 minutes. And here are some tips around detangling. Always detangle in the shower. Always have conditioner in your hair while you detangle. You can rinse it out after you're done. Detangle in small, manageable sections. So there's There's no need to take a big whole hunk of hair and start to try to get the comb through it. What I do is I always start at the back. I part my hair when it's wet, and I just detangle this small section. Then I move over, get further in the back. Then I move over and get further in the back. So I'm doing it in small incremental sections until my whole hair is done. Never, ever pull. Remember, you've got hair that's already delicate. You've got that line of demarcation. You've got managing two textures, so you should never want to be too rough with your hair. Never be too impatient with your hair. Our hair tends to knot. It's prone to knotting. So when you feel a knot form, especially as you get deeper into your transition, use your fingers and gently until you work it out. Never pull, because if you pull, what you're going to do is snag your hair and break it. You always start from the bottom to the root, so you start at the end and work your way up to your roots. You never start to detangle from up here down here. You start from your ends and work your way up. It's the best thing. And again, if you ever encounter tough tangles, and you will, just use your hands and gently take them apart. You should be only using a wide tooth comb, and you need to use a really good leave-in conditioner after you rinse. Now, this is going to depend on your own hair. Some people, you heard me say earlier, don't use conditioner. I have to. So for detangling, that's where I would recommend you start with a good deep conditioner, or good short-term conditioner to detangle, wash it out, and then go to a leave-in. And sometimes you can use your leave-in to detangle, which I've done on occasion, but I really like the whole idea of being in the shower and taking care of business and coming out and my hair is done. Find what works for you and work this into your hair care regimen. For me, the best deep conditioner that I have ever encountered is coconut oil based. That doesn't mean there aren't others, but for me, it has many powerful benefits. It's a coconut deep conditioner that actually I found on YouTube. I think her name was That Girl 5, which contains extra virgin coconut oil, coconut cream concentrate, and yogurt. I would suggest this kind of conditioning at least once a month if you're not regularly using some sort of deep conditioner. So for me, I use Karen Body Beautiful Deep Conditioner, and so I don't need to do the coconut oil treatment with as much regularity as I'm recommending for you. But if you're not using a deep conditioner in your regular hair maintenance, then using the coconut cream concentrate deep conditioner is going to be very, very important for you. You'll find, especially if your hair is mostly natural, that it does a wonderful job of softening your hair and bringing out your curl. And if you're interested in more information on that, December 26th, 2009 on my blog is exactly where you can find the write-up on that.